What's happening, everyone? We're actually just walking out the door now to go shopping for clothes that we need for while we're working in Gundy, and we both woke up in a boss mood because we finally got accommodation sorted. We're starting to stress out about it because it's in 4 weeks time, but Rianne actually just messaged someone on Facebook yesterday, and then they just FaceTimed us and showed us around so that we didn't actually have to go down and look at it. But last time when we got down there, because it's such a small town, there was literally no choice when we got there. We just had to settle for this one, and it was absolutely horrible, man. But we were worried this time because we were thinking it's going to be the same again. We just have to find something as we got down there. But we just literally explained to her on FaceTime our situation, that we weren't going to be there for another 4 weeks. And she was so sound, man. She just said that we could pay 2 weeks in advance. And then when we actually get there, we don't have to pay for the first 2 weeks. We won't actually lose out on any money at all. And we've got a proper nice place to live when we get there sorted. What's happening, everyone? So most of our day was actually took up just shopping for work clothes, and then when we come back home we just sorted throughout all of our cupboards and just started lashing any old clothes that we don't really need. So there wasn't too much to record there, so I've actually just ended up taking my camera to the gym and recording my pull workout. So the first exercise that you've just seen there was my bent over dumbbell rows. So I was just getting the compound movements out the way first, and I'd done 5 sets of 5 on them, just making sure I really concentrated on the movement and was pulling in from my elbow. And then I moved on to 3 sets of 8 to 12 on these cable rows. You honestly don't need to go too heavy on these. You're better off feeling the full stretch, and then just making sure that you retract your shoulder blades at the top of the movement as well. After these, then I moved on to the lat pull down machine, and again I just done 3 sets of 8 to 12. It's very easy with these ones to just lash on loads of weight and start pulling down with your arms, and you'll notice that your biceps are aching already before your back gives out. But on these you need to really lower the weight down and make sure you're actually feeling the movement in your lats, and make sure you're trying to pull down from your elbows rather than pull down with your arms. And you can also swap this movement out and just do pull-ups instead if you prefer that. This is just my personal preference and I feel this better in my lats. But if you was to swap it out for pull-ups, I'd probably make sure I do that near the start of my workout so that I'm not doing it like 3 exercises in, because you'll need quite a lot of energy to get them all in properly. Then after my lat pull downs, I've moved on to these face pulls. So these are for the rear delts, so you need to make sure that you're retracting your shoulder blade at the top of the movement. Make sure you're just slowly contracting them and make sure you feel the movement. I'll normally just do 1 exercise for my rear delts towards the end of my exercise. If you didn't want to do this one, then you can always swap it out for rear delt flies, whether that's with dumbbells or a machine fly. Again, it doesn't really matter too much which one you choose, it just depends on whatever feels best for you. And once I've done them face pulls with the cables, that's me done for back then. So after that, I'll just move on to 2 movements for biceps. By this point, your biceps should already be fairly worn out because we've only done pull movements for the whole session, and your biceps are always going to be a secondary movement in all of these exercises. As you can see here, I've just started off doing 4 sets of 8 to 12 on alternating dumbbell curls. So as you can see, I start off at the bottom of the movement as if it's going to be a hammer curl, and then as you're halfway up, you want to twist the dumbbell so that you can really feel a tension in your bicep as it peaks to the top. And once you're at the top, make sure you control the weight on the way down so that there's more time under tension and you're not just dropping the weight down straight away. And then after I've done them alternating dumbbell curls, then I'll just go down to like 10 kgs, literally not much, and I'll just do 4 sets of hammer curls just to burn out the biceps. Again, just making sure that you choose a low weight so that you can control the weight all the way up and all the way down, and you're not just swinging up with your back. That's why I normally sit down, so it normally takes out any option to swing yourself and you're only using the bicep to pull it up. And then once I've burnt my biceps out, then I'll normally try and just do 1 or 2 ab exercises at the end of my workout. I've literally only just started training abs properly in about the last month, so I'm still trying to get used to these, but I'll normally just do 3 sets of 8 to 12 hanging leg raises. And as you can see, I normally try and do like half a pull-up and then just stay in that position and then lift my legs from there, because I find if I just have straight arms, then my body just shakes too much, it swings too much back and forth. So I just do like half a pull-up, stay in that position, and then I'll do my leg raises from there.